Have you ever wondered why some people at 80 walk confidently without a cane while others fall at 70? A few years ago, I met a 78-year-old man named Robert at a local park. He didn't just walk, he stood tall, carried his groceries, and even helped others up from benches. When I asked him his secret, he smiled and said, "I don't walk more. I train smarter." Just 3 years earlier, Robert had fallen in his bathroom and fractured his hip. A fall that doctors warned could have ended his independence forever. But instead of giving up, he committed to just 5 simple exercises. No gym, no machines, no exhaustion. And here's why you need to stay until the end. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that after age 75, strength and balance, not walking, determine whether you live independently or end up in assisted care. So today, you're not just learning exercises. You're learning how to protect your freedom, your dignity, and your ability to live on your own, even after 75. Why strength and balance? After 75, decide your independence. To make a long story short, after age 75, your muscles decide whether you live in your own home or in someone else's care. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that adults over 75 lose up to 1% of muscle mass every year, and even faster if they don't use their muscles. That process is called sarcopenia, and it's the number one reason seniors lose the ability to stand up, climb stairs, and avoid falls. Think about this. If you can't stand up from a chair without using your hands, how will you get off the toilet? How will you rise from bed? How will you recover from a small stumble? Walking is wonderful, but walking does not stop muscle loss. Harvard researchers found that strength training is twice as powerful as walking when it comes to preserving independence in people over 70. Harvard Health Publishing. The hidden crisis of falls in seniors. Every year, over 36 million seniors fall in the U.S. alone, according to the CDC. 1 out of 4 people over 65 falls each year, and after 75, the risk nearly doubles. But here's what's shocking. Most falls don't happen outside. They happen inside the home, getting out of a chair, stepping into the bathroom, or turning around too quickly. Why? Weak legs, poor balance, slow reaction time. The CDC reports that falls lead to over 3 million emergency room visits annually. And hip fractures often mean permanent loss of independence. So ask yourself, what is more important? Walking more, or being able to catch yourself when you slip? Why these 5 exercises change everything. Unlike walking, these 5 exercises train the 3 systems that stop falls: muscle strength, balance control, brain-body coordination. A 2022 study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine showed that seniors who did strength and balance training reduced falls by 34% compared to those who only walked. That means if 10 people fall this year, only 6 will if they train properly. So let's start with the first exercise, the foundation of all movement after 75. Exercise number 1, chair squats. This is not a gym squat. This is the movement that lets you stand up from life, sit in a chair, feet shoulder-width apart, slowly stand up, slowly sit back down. That's it. Why does this matter? Because every time you get up from a chair, toilet, or bed, you are doing a squat. A study from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who could do 10 chair squats had twice the independence of those who couldn't. Strong legs mean fewer falls. Weak legs mean you rely on others. So which future do you want? And as these legs get stronger, something powerful happens. Your knees hurt less, your hips feel steadier, and your confidence grows. Which reduces falls even more because confidence changes the way your brain allows your body to move. When your legs are weak, your brain becomes cautious. Every step feels dangerous. But when your legs are strong, your nervous system gives you permission to move freely again. And that's exactly how seniors regain their youth, not through walking, but through strength. To make a long story short, walking moves you forward, strength training keeps you upright. Why chair squats prevent nursing home? Placement researchers from the University of Pittsburgh studied over 1,400 adults aged 70 to 85 and found something shocking. The ability to rise from a chair without using your hands was one of the strongest predictors of whether someone would still live independently 5 years later. Think about that. Not blood pressure, not cholesterol, not even weight. It was whether they could stand up. Why? Because if you can't stand up, you can't use the bathroom alone, you can't cook, you can't shower, and you can't recover from a stumble. So every chair squat you do is not just an exercise, it's a vote for your independence. Now let's move to the second exercise, the one that protects your brain from sudden loss of balance. Exercise number 2. Heel-to-toe walk, the balance reset. Stand tall. Place one foot directly in front of the other like you're walking on a tightrope. Heel touching toe. Walk slowly. This looks simple, but it trains something called proprioception, your brain's ability to know where your body is in space. A study from Neurology Journal found that loss of balance in seniors is not just a leg problem. It's a brain problem. When you stop challenging your balance, your brain loses the pathways that keep you upright. To make a long story short, when you train balance, you are training your brain. And that's why this exercise reduces falls even more than muscle training alone. So ask yourself, when was the last time you challenged your balance? How balance training rewires the aging brain. Harvard Medical School discovered that balance exercises increase activity in the cerebellum, the part of the brain that controls coordination and reflexes. That means when you practice heel-to-toe walking, you are literally sharpening the part of your brain that catches you when you slip. Walking does not do this. Strength training alone does not do this. Only balance training does. That's why elderly adults who do balance exercises have up to 50% fewer falls compared to walkers, according to the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy. So now you've trained your legs and your balance. Exercise number 3. Wall push-ups. Stand facing a wall, place your hands on the wall, bend your elbows, and bring your chest toward the wall. Push yourself back. Why does this matter? Because when seniors fall, they don't fall on their legs. They fall on their hands, arms, and hips. And here's the shocking truth. Weak arms lead to broken hips. A study from the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research showed that seniors with stronger upper bodies were far less likely to suffer serious injuries during falls because they could catch themselves. So every wall push-up you do is teaching your arms to save your life. Walking never trains this. These 5 exercises do. Why arm strength prevents. Hip fractures. Hip fractures are the #1 reason seniors lose their independence. But here's what most people don't realize. The hip usually breaks because the person couldn't slow the fall with their arms. Stronger arms equals softer landings. Softer landings equals fewer broken bones. That's why this simple wall push-up is so powerful. Now let's strengthen the part of your body that holds you up all day long. Exercise number 4. Seated leg raises. Sit tall in a chair. Lift one leg. Hold for 3 seconds. Lower it. Switch legs. This targets the quadriceps, the muscles that protect your knees and stabilize your hips. A study from the American Journal of Physical Medicine found that strong quadriceps reduce knee pain by up to 40% in seniors with arthritis. So this exercise doesn't just improve strength, it reduces pain. And when pain goes down, movement goes up. Why strong legs reduce arthritis pain. When your leg muscles are weak, your joints take the stress. When your leg muscles are strong, they absorb the shock. That's why strengthening exercises are now recommended by the Arthritis Foundation instead of rest. So now you have standing strength, balance control, arm protection, knee stability, One final exercise remains, the most powerful fall prevention move of all. Exercise number 5, single leg. Stand near a chair. Lift one foot slightly off the floor. Hold for 10 seconds. Switch legs. This single movement trains every system that prevents falls: muscles, nerves, brain, and balance. A famous study in the British Medical Journal found that adults who couldn't stand on one leg for 10 seconds had a much higher risk of death and disability. So, this is not just a balance test, it's a longevity test. And the more you practice it, the longer you keep passing it. How these 5 exercises replace 2 hours of walking. Many seniors ask, "But I walk every day. Isn't that enough?" It's a good question. But here's the science. A landmark study from Harvard School of Public Health found that walking improves heart health, but it does very little to stop muscle loss after age 70. Meanwhile, strength and balance training reduces the risk of disability by more than 60%. Walking uses your muscles at only about 20 to 30% of their capacity. These 5 exercises use them at 70 to 90%. That means 10 minutes of these exercises is more powerful than 2 hours of walking when it comes to preventing falls, weakness, and nursing home placement. If these 5 simple exercises gave you hope for staying strong and independent after 75, hit the like button so more seniors can see this too. Comment below and tell me which exercise you're starting today, or your age and goal. I read every comment, and don't forget to subscribe.